Hello, my squishies! It's Friday night, it's 6 o'clock, it's time to felt along, and welcome to my nonsense already. We've got a special guest tonight because there's two here, who I will introduce in just a second. But I'm going to do my normal introduction while everybody is coming in, as normal, as if she's not here, and then we're going to introduce a special guest once people are in. So for those of you who are joining me after the fact, welcome to the Felt Along. We do this live and you can read people's live comments I'm facing slightly the wrong way today, below. But after the fact, you can rewind this, you can fast forward it, you can even, if you like, mute me. But let's get felting. Okay, so in your kits, you've got a foam mat. This is what we're going to felt onto. She's moving. But this is what we're going to felt onto. And you've got this material, which is pre-felt, which is what we're felting the picture onto. I'm distracted already because there's somebody else in the room and I'm not used to this. Normally I'm talking to myself in a room. Oh, I can see some people are on. Hello, people. We've got 4 viewers. Yeah, I'm normally talking to myself in a room of my own, and it's really weird that hi, Robin. I'm now talking to an actual person and you guys. It's going to be a weird one. I'm going to love this. Okay, right. Back to non-nonsense. So you've got your mat that we're going to felt on. This protects our surfaces. Got the pre-felt, which is the material we're going to use to make the picture. We've got our beautiful coloured tops. So this is wool that's come off the sheep. It's been washed, dyed and brushed. And it's ready to be made into a picture. There's a few tricks to using this. So you want to have your hands nice and far apart and gently pull. I'm going to squish you for a second. Gently pull and your little bits will come off like that. Oh yeah, you should be listening to this as well because she's also going to be felting along.
I'm getting ready.
So if you have your hands too close together, you're fighting against like the length of the hair itself. So have your hands nice and far apart and gently pull. If there's any twist, it's also not going to pull because twist makes yarn. You can't see this, but she's doing it. So that's felt. So we've got various different colours. We've also got our felting needles. You've got yours there. So these are very sharp and barbed. They may break. If they break, make sure you collect all the pieces and dispose of them safely. They're also, as I said, very sharp. So if you please try and avoid stabbing yourself because it hurts. So I like to felt with one hand reasonably far away. So it lessens the likelihood of stabbing myself. Are you listening to this?
I am listening very closely. Although if anyone is going to stab themselves, it will likely be me.
Yes. And then the last bit before we introduce my special guest is this little tool here. So this is just a handle which makes it slightly easier to felt with. I've not given you one of these. So to use this, you pull out the wee plug. Maybe. There we go. Pull out the wee plug. And you've got a thin end and a fat end. So you're going to pop the needle in the groove with the hook over the thin end and then pop the thin end back into there. I'll do this one more time for right from the start. So you've got your little, am I focusing? Probably. So you've got your little plug here. So you want to pull out the plug. My guest may have had a beer.
Oh, okay.
So you put the needle
It's all good.
over the groove with the hook on the thin end and pop it back in. And then you're ready to stab. And when you're stabbing, you always want to stab in straight rather than bending it. Okay, but now would be the time that I would say let's start felting. But first, can I have a second pair of hands, please? Look, I have an actual person in my studio. This is Ailey from
By Nevish.
Nevish. She's got the wonderful how? So it's the women's own.
It's the first technical outdoor sports shop for and by women in the UK.
And she's just along the road from me, and she's wonderful. She's got a lovely shop full of outdoor clothing and climbing stuff and all sorts of amazing things.
All the things, yeah.
And soon, hopefully, this felting kit.
Yeah, and we're going to have this felting kit hopefully in the shop after this. So
Yeah.
that'll be exciting. Yeah.
Oh, and Robin has said hello.
Yay.
You see on the comments, so you can respond to them as well.
Hello.
So Ailey, not only is she an amazing outdoors lady and wonderful business owner, but she's also very good at Gaelic.
Mhm.
So tonight, and local knowledge as well. So unlike me, who normally does no planning and Googles frantically or asks my wonderful mother, who I haven't seen yet tonight, what information we have about what we're felting, Ailey knows everything about it.
About felting.
No,
not so
about
much, but about the Gaelic
About Gaelic and about...
tradition behind it, I do know. Yeah.
Good point, yes. And you know all about what we're felting tonight.
Absolutely.
So-
So this is the Pap of Glencoe, Skirnikirche, or the Boob Mountain, as they call it in Gaelic.
The Boob Mountain.
Yeah. So Pap of Glencoe.
So what we're going to have by the end of today, or in the next hour or so, hopefully, is this picture here of the pap. Ailey's, this is going to be her first or second time
Will be
felting.
probably my second time felting. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're going to do it together.
We're gonna do it together.
And while she's doing it, she's not only... Oh, we're getting squinty. There we go. The camera keeps falling sideways because we're in a different location. But while she's doing it, she's also going to talk about the pap. So, shall we get started?
Yes.
So first you're going to grab the lightest blue,
How much of the lightest blue
So-
shall we grab?
roughly about this much. Have your hands nice and far apart. Further apart, much further apart. That's it. And then we're going to lay it roughly where it's going to go. So up there. And taking your needle, just as long as can you reach okay?
Mhm.
You're going to try and keep it above this line, but you don't have to keep it inside the circle. So we're aiming to just pop it in the top there, and I'm following the line of the mountains, and then very gently stabbing it all in.
So if we're starting at the top,
hmm
this mountain here.
Oh, they can't see your hand. Point on my
See
one.
my hand. This mountain here is Scurin and Fianna, which has an amazing story behind it about the Fianna, who were a famous mythical band of warriors in Gaelic place name culture and folklore. And there's lots of stories about them.
Oh,
You might know Finn MacGould, who's quite famous in Ireland
I don't.
for being involved with the Giant's Causeway and things.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's a giant.
He was a giant, but he was not a giant in Scotland. He was just a normal sized guy.
Wait, is he giant in Ireland but normal across here?
I think he just kind of
Yeah.
shifts about. Yeah, I think he was just kind of doing lots of things.
Nice.
And
There you go. So if you put a little bit more stabby up there,
more stabby stabby.
so you don't
I
have
do it
you don't
round?
you don't need to follow that bit. You want to go over the edge.
Okay,
So you see how I've just left it?
so I don't want to stabby around here.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know so much stabby.
So, the Fianna, basically all started with the Vikings, who are supposed to have come down the loch in Ballachulish, out here. So they were coming down the loch
Yep.
here, and then they thought that they would try and take Ballachulish for themselves.
Oh.
And apparently, they brought 100 boats down Valhulish Narrows, which is where the bridge is now.
No. I don't believe it.
100 boats.
100
yeah,
would not
100
fit
boats.
down there.
Yeah. and they camped out at Achtriachen,
Mm-hmm.
which is, it's not really in our circle today, but it's kind of
Just outside
it's down
it.
Glencoe. Yeah.
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 So now we're going to skip ahead slightly. So we're just sketching it in just now. So we're going to start on the mountains, and we're going to take the chestnut. No, let's go for the lighter than chestnut one. So we've got two different browns. We've got the chestnut and... Give me a name for this. What's the Gaelic name?
Down.
The down.
Down.
And
Yeah.
so we're going to take the down one, and we're just going to really roughly fill in this whole area in the down. So if you want to grab that and then just fill in this whole area. I've lost my needles. And you can use more than one needle at a time.
Okay.
So you can use multiple ones. So just taking a wee bit like that and then laying it on. And again, we're following the shape roughly of the mountain. Don't worry if it doesn't look exactly... What's the word I'm looking for? I've lost my words already.
Kerst is right. Yeah.
If it doesn't look exactly right just now, I'm so squinty, my camera is going for a wander. I will fix that in a second. Because we're gonna this is us blocking in the colours, and then we're going to work on top and add in depth and layering.
So
And
we're
all
going
these
to
things.
go over with the snow.
So so we're going over with the snow, we're going over with different colours of brown. This is just getting a sort of nice little base of mountains. And while you're stabbing away, I'm going to shut your eyes if you don't want to see the camera wiggling, because I'm going to wiggle the camera just now. So that hopefully, hopefully they can see both of us. There we go. I shifted. We knew we were going to do this. We were going to have fights tonight over getting into frame.
Shall I move this
No,
way?
you're fine
I'm
there.
right in frame
There
now.
we go.
You
No, we're
kinda
both.
wanna
We're
see-
even. We're even. There you go. Sorry, we have 1,000 Viking warriors.
1,000 Viking warriors came up the Narrows, and they arrived at Achtriachen, and they camped at Achtriachen, and the king of the Vikings was called Machgiain, and he had a son, and I can't remember what his son's name was. I'm sorry. I think it might have been Patrick, but I'm not. I can't remember.
It is now.
Yeah.
We've decided. It's fine.
Okay, it's Patrick. And Machgiain, so Machgiain was camped at Achtriachen, and he wanted to take the glen, but Finn Machgul was hiding away up behind Sgurn and Fianna, which is here. So at the sort of far end of the Unachegach. It's like the kind of, when you get to the end of the Unachegach, it's like the nice flat bit that you just want to chill and just take your time along, basically.
You're looking at me like I walked it.
Um,
Ailey's walked a lot more hills than I
I think it's questionable, but still. And basically, all of the Finn Machgul and his warriors were hiding behind the ridge, and in the night they waited, and then they attacked the Vikings to try and stop them from taking the
Did it work?
Glencoe.
Also,
Well,
don't
it
look at me. Look
said-
at your fingers while you're felting.
Okay.
I can just see you
There we
stabbing
go.
yourself.
It said that the battle went on for sometimes they say 3 days, sometimes they say 3 weeks. Yeah, but it went on for a long time. And on the third day, or the third week, Machgiain's son died in battle.
Oh no.
And on the last day, finally, the Finns won, and Machgiain was killed. And it said that 100 boats came up the Narrows, but only 3 returned.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So
Oh.
that's the story. Yeah.
There we go. That's a very good story.
Yeah.
Okay, so with this, can I get you to sort of put the bottom bit level, just like that, because we were going to put the water below it. But look at that! Look, you've already got mountains on the go.
Mountains, yeah.
There we go.
There we go. I'll do one.
Just do the little bit there at the end.
I was too busy talking about Skirnafia and I've not.
No, that's okay. That's what you're here for tonight. That's the fun of it. And we will go over these again at this is the messy stage where we get to play and just plonk down colours, and then we'll go over and refine it at the end, so you can see we've got loads of little tiny details in afterwards.
There we go.
Perfect. So we're going to take the
More
of the blue, the sky blue.
So this is
So how would you say this in Gaelic?
Gorum.
Gorum.
Yeah.
Gorum. And then cover the bottom in Gorum. Look at me speaking Gaelic. And that's it. And then we're just going to stab that in. So it doesn't have to be well stabbed in just now. You can just... I'm going to hiccup now. So what's the water in front called?
So the water is called Ushka.
Wait, that's water though. What's what's...
So the sea is called a Vur.
Oh.
A Vur. And you see a lot of B&Bs called Namara. Oh, they're just called Mara. But actually that, if you're saying off the sea, then you'd say Mara. But you would normally call it a Vur.
A Vur.
A Vur, yeah.
Ah.
And this is Loch Leven as well. Yeah.
I was trying to frantically remember. Because there's two Loch Levens.
There are two Loch Levens.
I grew up next to the first Loch Leven. Not
Yeah.
first, sorry. My first Loch Leven. You grew up next to this Loch Leven.
Loch Leven, yeah.
Which one's the best?
This one is definitely the best. There's a song about it. Yeah, Loch Leven.
Yeah.
And it says that it's the best place, so I trust whoever wrote that song.
I don't. No, actually, I've moved up here. Who can I talk? I love this Loch Leven.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to take a little bit of this blue. Oh, put it in camera. The darker blue. You've got some hiding there.
Thank you.
And we're going to put a little bit, just a little bit of this. So you can see how tiny the amount I've taken. Perfect! You've got it. Tiny the amount I've taken. And we're going to lay that on top of the water. Because we want the water to be a little bit darker. And then, so there's little pools and puddles. We're also going to pop in some reflections later on and some waves, but for just now we're just going to put a little bit of the blue.
So I realised that I missed that. So felt.
Oh yes,
Is Pelak.
Pelak.
Felt, yeah. And I'm not sure. I think a lot of people today just use a feltig for felting. Which they've anglicised, but I think maybe traditionally probably would have said Aegean of Le Pelak. Yeah. So you're doing something making something with felt. Yeah.
Wait.
Aegean of Pelak.
Say it louder.
Aegean of Pelak.
Aegean of Pelak.
Yeah, perfect.
I'm
Perfect.
felting. We are felting.
Yeah.
Yes. We're doing a thing. Right. Perfect. So can we have actually, no, yeah, I like that. I was going to say a little bit more spread out over the whole blue, but I like that little darky patch.
Little pool.
And then what bit are we going to do next? So let's define the mountains. And this is where you're going to tell me all of the mountain names again, because I've forgotten them all.
Mountain names.
Yeah. So we're going to take... Now don't worry, this is going to look too dark and scary. I'm going to move the camera slightly back to me. And then we're going to put more colour on top of it so it doesn't look so dark and scary. But we're going to take the darkest brown. So you've got that hiding there.
It's definitely down.
This is down.
This is definitely down. This is down as well, but it could be more ruig. Ruig is more like it's got a little bit of like red in it.
Oh, yeah. So another down.
Down, yeah.
And we're going to take the tiniest bit, so tiny bit. Let's put it in frame. And I want you to lay it so it's coming down there. Because we're trying to make this one pop into the front. So just stab it in very briefly.
I'm okay with that.
Oh, so what I did when it's a little long is I just folded it back on itself. And then we're going to do the same on the other side. Because the pap is a lovely, prominent and well-known mountain. And now it looks a bit scary and it looks a bit odd just now, but do not panic. There is method in my madness, sometimes, and it will all blend out in the end. What's happening?
It's okay.
I know this is your like second time felting, and you're doing it on camera with
With
people
lots
watching.
of people.
I know.
Yeah. It's not going too bad.
Although, no mum and dad this week, so we can talk about anything we like because my mum and dad aren't listening.
The thing.
No, because children do listen,
You have
so
to
we're
tell
going
me
to be.
the goss jam.
Children watch this, so we have to be sensible. This is educational.
Absolutely.
And do the same again, going down the other side.
So, this is Skirnikirche, the Pap of Glencoe. So, is it here you're going?
Yep,
Yeah.
but
I think this is Mialacharkerkel, but I'm not too sure. It might be Mial. It's not Mial Balachilish, but it's like the extension of Tommyine, which kind of goes down the far side of. I think back in the day, quite a lot of them just called that far side of Lochleven hill all the way along Tommyine.
yeah,
You keep asking people what hill's that, and they're like, "Oh, it's Tommyine."
it's the hill.
I feel like Tommyine just kind of continues all the way down. Yeah.
Fair. Because once you're up there, it's all just hill.
Yeah, hilly hill. And there's a tune called The Pap of Glencoe, and it was written by William Lowry, who was a famous piper.
Oh, yeah.
He passed away sadly in the Second World War.
Oh.
But he, I've made this. I'm going to go back on myself. There.
We are going to cover it up, so not cover it up, but we're going to add more onto it.
Very good. And he wrote it listening to the echo on the top of the hill. So it goes dip-a-day, 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 day-da-day, dip-a-day. And this goes all about the echo that he could hear back.
Oh, nice.
Yes. Yeah,
That is
so
excellent.
That's the Pap of Glencoe.
That is the fact. We've had the Pap of Glencoe. And later on, at the end of this, there will be another song. You have to stay to the end and listen.
Yeah.
Perfect. So now we're going to take some of the let's show the camera. The mid brown, the lovely chestnut brown. What did you call it?
Down.
This one.
Yeah. Or ruig.
I like ruig.
Ruig is like a sort of rust colour.
Yeah, I would go for.
Yeah,
So we're going for
we'll go
this one.
Ruig. Yeah, this one.
And again, we're going to take just a little bit, and we're aiming to put it along there and along there. So I'm going to. I know I'm pointing for Ailey, but the camera can't see this. So we're going to basically cover up what we've done with the dark brown with this lighter brown, because we're aiming to get this mountain to fall a bit into the background and be a little bit darker. It looks like it looks like there's a seagull on the camera. The needle looks like a seagull.
There could be a seagull.
Is there not Seagull Island down that way?
There is Seagull Island, Eilean and Fulagan. I think, what is it called in Gaelic? It has a different name. I think it's Eilean na Chaise.
Mm-hmm.
and it's the island of the cheese. And it's that for not such a nice reason.
Oh no! Sorry, I shouldn't have laughed
No,
then.
it's okay. It's funny.
But why would you name an island after cheese?
It's because when they had the funerals on Eilean Munda.
Oh no, I'm so
I'm
sorry.
sorry. It's okay. I probably should have started with the story.
What did you say it's an island called cheese?
Yeah, it's an island called cheese. It might be shaped like cheese. Sometimes they did that. There's a hill there's a hill in Skye called the Hill of the Cheese, Mialachasha.
Yeah.
And it is just because it looks like a big lump.
Okay, so I'm allowed to laugh at that one.
So you can laugh, it's
Okay.
all good. It happened. Yeah. But I think it's where they went after they'd been on Eilean Munda to have like the after. They would like row,
Oh.
so they'd row and they'd have the funeral and then they'd row over for their cheese and oat cakes on Seagull Island.
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Oh, it's probably
yeah.
quite good crack,
It's
you know.
it's
yeah.
the celebratory
Yes,
section.
it's the celebratory part of the
Yeah.
islands. Yeah.
Oh my god. And then the same again on the other hill. So we're putting bits of brown on both of them.
Mm-hmm.
And a little bit at the base of the front hill as well. Because did they not have fight? I heard this. I might be making this up because I make up lots of things.
Mm-hmm.
Did they have fights on Seagull Island where they would put two clan chiefs there and then they'd have to battle to?
I've heard that of a few places. I've heard it if there's a stone in the slate quarry that that they would do that. They would just like leave people there to, if you had an argument, it was just called that, but because you would just have to like, that's where you went to battle it out. But I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if that was true. Yeah.
Just, I love this. Just put them on an island and
Yeah,
at the end the
and-
difference will be sorted.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Oh,
I need to
am I
get
still?
some on the other islands. I'm behind.
It's okay.
There we go.
I may have done this before. I may have done this multiple times before.
Trying to find that out. There we go.
This is about the stage that I normally start having sort of brain melts. Like, I know I was about to say something, but it's just completely gone.
So I think a needle is a schneef. Is the needle, and wool is claw.
I remember
which
this.
everyone will know. Yeah.
You taught me this before.
So claw and a headache is Harris tweed, which everyone talks about. Yeah.
Claw and a herrick.
Yeah.
Right, we're going to grab some green now and put in some forest.
Mhm.
So we've got two different greens. Let's put them up to the camera. A darker and a lighter. In theory, we're going to have the darker one a little bit lower along the bottom and the lighter one. Oh, before we do this, I have neglected my duties terribly.
Mhm.
So every so often it's a really good idea to pull this off the mat,
Ooh.
because as you can see the felting has pushed it through to the back and it shoves it into the mat. So every so often you want to pull it off, that's it, and then just lay it down again.
There we go. Do you want to get in more in frame? Is that?
There we go. Slightly squinty. We're moving slowly off the side of the desk.
It's okay. It's all good.
Right, okay, so we're going for the green. So we're aiming to put the green, because this is the forest. There's totally a forest there. Is there a forest there? There is now.
Yeah, there's a forest.
Yeah. The forest along all the way across the bottom with the darker green. So you're taking just tiny, tiny little bits
Mhm.
and laying it across the bottom of the two hills.
Little bit.
And then take the lighter green slightly higher up. And then we're going to stab that in. And again, just now we don't need to felt in really well because we're still blocking out colours and things. Oh, so if you pop it across.
Oh, a bit
The
higher.
bottom of there,
I'm just
yeah.
putting it casually onto the water. That's what
Well,
I'm doing.
you say that, but we're about to put it onto the water, so
Okay.
you basically just jumped ahead of me. Because you can see what's going on behind the camera that other people
I
can't.
keep checking me because we've got the thing in front of me.
Yeah, so with still blocking in colours just now. And if we go wrong at this point in time, you can literally just pick it up and move it. So don't worry. There we go. And then I'm going to take, we've got this. So there's multiple browns. We've got let's put them all in shot so we can see. So we've got the dark, the chestnut. I've totally forgotten the Gaelic names already. That one.
Yeah.
And then there'll be a tiny sliver of this. The nicest way to describe, no, the way that we describe it in the shop, with affection, I might add, is sludge. We've got this sludge colour.
I think I'd call
What would you call that?
ban.
Ban.
Yeah.
So we've got this ban
Which
colour.
is like blonde. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
almost blonde. It's getting into blonde.
I'd say it's dirty blonde. Yeah.
So you've got a tiny bit of this dirty blonde. And I'm going to get you to pop it at the the top there. So tiny bit. Oh, and there's some blue sneaked in there. Get out. Just to lighten up that front one. So that's going to be on the pap. So if you can spread it a little bit thin.
There. Hmm?
Let's see. I kept your hands in the way. So I'm just going to spread it that way. In fact, this is it. So I'm spreading it apart and laying it down. And then stabby.
Shenagate.
What did you say?
Shenagate. That's what you say. You just say that's that. Shenagate.
Shenagate.
Yeah.
Shenagate.
Yeah.
Look, I'm practically multilingual.
Absolutely.
Then we've got one last bit to put into our. My words have gone. It's been a week. It's been a mad week. We've got one last. The tourists have returned up
The
here.
tourists have returned here, and all the shopkeepers on Fort William High Street are.
Just slightly deranged at this point.
Yeah. We're all feeling it.
Oh yes, so the one last bit that we're doing is we're popping in the snow, because we still have a bit of snow on the top of the hills up
There
here.
is a little bit of snow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So this is still technically a correct view.
Yeah.
If we were to go out the window just now, what colour is this?
This is gal.
Gyal.
Yeah.
Gyal. So we want to take a little bit of this. So this isn't, so the stuff we've been working with up until now has been called tops or roving. This one's slightly differently prepared. So this one's called slivers, and you can see it's slightly more rustic. You've got more little bits in it, and that makes really good snow texture
It's very cool.
and really good sea texture.
Yeah.
So we're going to pop this. We're going to
How do you do this? Does it get spun in a different way?
so this is just not as processed.
Ah.
So this one's been more processed, more brushed and organised.
Uh-huh.
This one's like us,
Ah.
slightly disorganised and a bit lumpy in places. It's perfect.
Absolutely.
So we're going to put the nipple on on the pad.
boob, yeah.
So we want to cover it. So we want to make a nice point. It is a very pointy mountain.
It is. Hence why.
Oh, Robin had no power for 16 hours. They still. I
Oh
know.
my goodness.
Yeah, we've still got a tiny bit of snow.
Oh, go on here. Wow.
So we're going for a nice pointy snow-capped mountain. So you can even go higher, like make it even pointier.
A bit higher. Or perhaps kind of got like a little.
A little nubbin on top.
Yeah, a little face.
A little face.
It does have a face actually.
Does it?
Yeah. It's gonna be.
I'm slightly scared to
You can see
put
a face if you look at it. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to have to drive down there.
Yeah.
And you want to, so once you've got the top white, I'm making sure, now this is the little handy hint here that the white extends slightly down so that there is a distinction between this front mountain and that one. So I'm extending the snow again. That's it. Perfect. You've done it. Down the sides so that that really pushes that one to the forefront. Make your nipple a bit pointier. Because there's lots of mountains across Scotland that are named after body parts.
There is a lot of boobs and other things in the terms that the Gaels use for the hills.
Did they just not have much imagination?
I think basically that's the crack. They actually named a loch Loch Anishka, which is the loch with the water in it.
Oh my.
So really, the best naming goes to them.
That is
There's
amazing.
also second prize goes to Loch Lochy,
Yeah.
which is the Lochy Loch. Yeah,
Looks a bit
the
like a
Lakey
loch.
Lake. Yeah, yeah.
Oh no. Oh no. Okay.
Is there a different kind of loch? I know.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No, it's
There is
just-
nothing but a lochy loch. Or a loch with water in it. What can you do?
it looks a bit locky. It's fine. It's like that's the hill.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the hill there.
Yeah, that's that hill over there. The hill that looks like the big cheese. Yeah.
Oh god. Okay, right. No, serious business. We're serious professionals here.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we're going to start. Now we've got it all blocked in. We've got all our colours roughly where we want them. Now is the fun bit. We're going to, so less is more. We're going for tiny, tiny bits, and we're going to layer up different colours and different textures to give it a little bit of depth and excitement. So what I'm going to get, she's going ahead. She knows what's about to happen. So we're going to do exactly what Ailey's just done. She's cheating. She can see the answer sheet. We're going to take a small bit of the white and
Gently.
and then layer it along the line between where the Ushka meets the
Yeah.
hill.
Absolutely. Where the Vur meets Knoch.
The Vur meets the Knoch.
Knoch meets Bain. Yeah.
Because it can be quite choppy down there. So you do get little waves.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've been swimming in that water with you.
Yeah,
and
we have. Yeah, it's a great wee spot for wild swimming, especially at Seagull Island. Everyone.
I have done.
Was
I went.
there, yeah.
I've been round Seagull Island.
Yeah.
As I think it was Seagull Island. There was many islands. We got confused.
Yeah.
So we're putting in little white horses. You can see I've just done the line where the water meets the hill, and just a couple below it.
So the water line in Gaelic is called Anchur.
Ooh,
Anchur. Yeah.
Anchur.
Yeah.
I'm sure I've heard that before. Is there places named that? Is that why I know that?
It's quite a popular name for, I don't know, small businesses,
Yeah.
CDs, things like that. Yeah.
The water line.
Yeah, the water, yeah.
And then next in the water, which you already cheated and tried to do, we're going to put in some reflections of the pap. So we're going to go for tiny, tiny amounts. So again, you can see how, can you even see there's actually a bit of fluff in my hand right there. That little. And lay them in the water. If you've put in too much, you can go over it in the blue, because the more layers the better. But we just want tiny, tiny bits of fluff. Oh, I should have said this before. So tonight we're going to get everything in place. We're going to have it mostly felted, but we're not going to finish it tonight. So after, and about, what have we got, 20 minutes left, it's going to be almost all there. but I'm going to ask you to stop for the evening, and you're going to come back in a couple of days with fresh eyes, and I'm going to get you to stab all over. So we're going to take as many needles at a time and just stab, 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 back and forward all over the whole thing, felting it in really well. Like, you can see the difference. So just now, while Ailey's carrying on, oh, look at your little hills! Yeah. Yes. So just now it's all super fluffy, but this finished one here, you can see it's more solid. The back, there's a big difference in the back as well. Let's see if you can, so that's the back of the finished one and the back of the not finished one. So you want to be stabbing in for about half an hour of just stabbing all over, and you'll see the difference. It'll all come together. It'll be like magic. It's amazing when it happens.
Yeah.
Perfect. So we're going to put a little bit of texture. We're going to put some more texture, sorry. I'm going to hiccup again. On the hills. So we're going to work a little bit on these two back ones. And I'm going to start layering up tiny, tiny amounts of the dark. And then, so I'm folding it in half and laying it so we get a sort of edge there for mine. But you can also do it going up and down the way you have been doing it. It looks really nice. And we're just going to layer up the colours, because the more layers the better, because that's the secret. That is the secret to felting, is
Layers.
lots of little layers.
Lots of layers.
Like life
Yeah.
is like an onion.
Absolutely. So Shrek really, he would have been good at felting.
He would have been
Yeah.
genius at felting. But who's felting along with us tonight, and who is just watching? That is the question. Because I know there's a couple. I know it is some kind of holiday apparently today and tomorrow. I don't know.
Oh no, I've never heard.
What is this thing? So I think a lot of people aren't able to join us tonight, and I'm going to join afterwards.
The Kashk is Easter.
The cash.
Kashk.
Oh, I had some lovely, lovely customers in today, and they were asking me about an Easter tradition up here of setting things on fire.
Yeah, that's Beltane. So it doesn't quite happen till the 1st of May.
Okay. Oh no, yeah, yes.
Labuya Beltane. Yeah.
Ah.
And on Labuya Beltane, everything is yellow. You wear yellow garlands and you celebrate the sort of beginning of the summer, but it's a little bit later. Which is quite interesting that they celebrate it then, because obviously it is a wee bit warmer a bit later in Scotland. So,
Wait, we have warm?
Yeah. Yeah.
What is this thing?
On Labuya Beltane they would light 2 fires, and they would drive the cattle between the 2 fires. I don't know why. I just think they like their cows.
They like their cows warm and slightly toasted.
Yeah. But yeah, they would celebrate the beginning of the season then. It's also supposed to be when the Cailleach, who's the god of winter, is when she becomes Brija, who's St. Bride as well later on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But basically that's when the sort of calendar moves towards summer. Yeah.
Wait, what's that word you just used?
Beltane.
No, summer?
Oh, summer.
I don't understand that one. Is that a Gaelic one as well?
Yeah. I know, I've never heard of it. Yeah.
There you go. So
Yeah, they do jump over the fires as well. Yeah, I've definitely heard that. So I think they drove. I think they would go in between the fires as well with the cattle as well. Yeah, yeah.
That's slightly toasted.
Yeah.
Nice. So I've added. Well, I did this sneakily without saying I was doing it because I didn't want to interrupt. I've added some of the chocolate brown. There's a fly. No, it's not. It's a bit of fluff. There's a bit of fluff distracting me. I've added the chocolate brown a little bit on top of the forest because that adds a little bit of depth and interest. And then I'm adding more green on top, if that makes sense. So I'm just layering up. So wait, robin's felting. What's robin felting? I have questions. I've never seen. I don't think I've seen. Have I seen your felting? I have seen your felting. Did they do that across there as well? The maybe not the cows between fires.
In Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely when they got to Canada they would have done that as well.
You've got Canadian stories.
I do. I have a Canadian song for you later.
Yeah. Because you went across to Canada not long ago.
I lived in Canada for a little while. And I've got some lassies actually staying with me at the moment from Nova Scotia.
They still here?
They are in Skye at the moment, but they have their stuff is still with me, so they will be back. I believe they will be back. Yeah. I think they're back at the weekend, but they've been travelling around, and everyone was so lovely in Nova Scotia and put me up. So if you come from Nova Scotia, there's a place for you here.
Nice.
Yeah.
Because they speak Lochaber Gaelic across
They do
there.
speak Lochaber Gaelic. There is actually more, well, there is more. I'd say there is more Gaelic from Lochaber now in Cape Breton than there is in Lochaber, which is quite sad. But there's
But
still
that's good,
there's more Gaelic in Lochaber than there is in Cape Breton, but there's more Lochaber Gaelic in Cape Breton than there is in Lochaber. I don't know if that makes any sense.
That makes sense to me. Yes. Because Gaelic's it's very regional as well, isn't it?
It is very regional, and a lot of people from Lochaber immigrated and were cleared over to Cape Breton.
So it lived on across there.
Lived on over there, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And there's a fantastic woman called Nan who lives in Cape Breton, and she's a 5th generation speaker from Lochaber.
Oh wow.
And there's a lot more. There's a lot of people there with Gaelic from here and connections to here. Particularly Bohunton and like Inverloch, up Bridge and Roybridge way.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people cleared out from there, so that a lot of them have connections to there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Well, not nice they were cleared out, but...
Yeah. And yeah, Newfoundland has its own dialect as well. Yeah, that's so cool. I've not been to Newfoundland. I'd love to. I'll have to make a point of going over there at some point. They went to Cape Breton. I was in Margaree. Is that what they're... If that's what they're asking.
I don't have my glasses on today, so I can only just see the screen.
Yeah, in Nova Scotia, yeah.
Yeah, today's been one of those days where I forgot my glasses and they've just been staring weirdly at people all day. And then I have to explain, I'm not looking at you funny, I just can't see you. So every so often, you can see while I've pulled it up, I've also smooshed it down. Because sometimes you start to get wee needle marks, but they disappear a little bit if you smoosh it like that. But so, how are you enjoying yours?
I'm very pleased with mine. I think I maybe need to bring my C down a little bit. Is that?
Yeah. So
can I quickly do that?
What you can do is, if you can pull yourself closer, pull you up, and you can just add more C along the bottom. Because when it's finished, so these ones we've got the hoops to put them in. So you can see how it's going to lay out.
Going to be.
So let's see.
Anyway.
So you could put a little bit. I don't stab my fingers.
Oh, sorry.
You could put a little bit. It's just like one of stab things. You can put a little bit more down the bottom because it'll make it easier for us when we put it in the frame. Yeah. But it's looking good.
Okay, I'm very pleased with that. Actually,
you should be.
For a second go felting, I think that's
not only a second go felting, but you're also instructing all of us at the same time. Well, not instructing. You're teaching us Gaelic at the same time. She is in the felting zone.
It's in the felting zone.
My fingers do not matter in this situation.
Absolutely.
I did mockingly say you were going to stab yourself earlier, but she's going to stab me is what's going to happen.
Just ready to stab everyone.
Oh no. It was like we've got you started. I do call this, so when people ask in the shop, I call it violent colour by numbers or stabbing by numbers. It's like, but you should see how calm we all are at the end.
Yeah, totally.
So now it's just the bit that we're doing it and I'm doing it.
Mm-hmm.
We're just playing and adding little bits of colour and seeing
Bits and
what you
bobs.
want. There's no...
I want more of this green.
And if you want your mountain to look different from ours, you can. But I'm starting now just doing like a good all over felting and seeing what bits I want to add into it. You can also, if you want to put some fluffy clouds, you can take some of the slivers, the white slivers, and pop them in the sky. But I'd make sure that you didn't put them... Hiccup, sorry. It is the only craft when you can stab something repeatedly and get away with it.
Absolutely.
If you want to pop clouds in, you can, but yeah, I wouldn't put them too close to the top of your hill, or else that's going to get confusing. But we get lots of really nice clear days.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When it's not raining.
Yeah, when it's not raining, it's totally clear.
So this is just a spring day. I'm going off the thing again. Whee!
It's a crisp spring day.
It is. But you can
They
probably...
talk about the
There we go.
lying snow, actually, in Gaelic a lot.
We had that last
Yeah.
week. Was it last week?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
So you do get a lot of snow in the spring. So.
Yeah. There we go. So right, give it a good old stab all over. What time? We've got 10 minutes. So can you take a couple of needles at a time? Where have your couple of needles gone? Have you lost your needles? Oh, they're hiding under...
I've got one here.
There's one there. Is there one on the floor?
I think one might be on the floor.
Oh, I see it.
There is.
Oh yeah. I didn't mention this at the start. Always count your needles in and out at the end, because you never know when you're going to lose a needle. So you can take a couple at a time and give it a good, so 2 or 3 at a time, and give it a good stabbing
just giving the
all
whole
over,
thing.
all over, just back and forward. Get that anger out. Work on your right arm muscle. And mind your finger when you're doing this stage. And you'll see the more you stab it like this, it'll start to pull together.
No, I've lost my definition there.
So that, yeah, this is the stage that's really handy when you can find any bits that you want to fiddle with. Stab, 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 stab. So we're almost, in fact, yeah, we've got 7 minutes left. I think we're pretty happy with this. We've got mountains. We've got, what's the word? Snow-covered mountains.
Mm-hmm.
We've got the hills. It all looks
Yeah.
knocking.
Yeah.
So Ailey has prepared something very special for us that I'm going to get her to introduce.
Yeah. So, in Gaelic tradition, the women specifically would be gathered together to make the tweed. And they would have the wool and they would treat it with ammonium
How did they get the ammonium?
from urine.
So they would collect their pee in buckets.
So they would collect the men's pee.
Oh, so it's specifically the men's
I
pee?
think it was specifically the men's pee. I've never heard of it being the women's pee. I've always heard of it being the men's pee.
See,
'Cause I think there was just a bucket outside. Yeah.
I heard a story that on cold days, if they wanted
Right.
to warm it up slightly,
Oh.
somebody would just get on the table and warm it up.
Oh, really?
I don't know.
I
if it's
haven't
true
heard
or
that,
not.
but that could well be true.
But okay, so
But basically, they would treat the tweed with they would treat the wool at that point with ammonium, which would help bind it into tweed. And the way that you make the tweed is you just beat it to death,
we've been
kind of like
stabbing.
what we're doing with the stabbing.
Well, yeah, so
'Cause-
tweed is slightly felted,
yeah.
so this is another way
It's
to...
quite interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder if crafts came from women's anger at the patriarchy. They're just beating and
Yes.
things. Yeah.
Sit here being innocent and sweet, stabbing and
yeah,
beating things
absolutely.
up. Yes, I agree with this. So quickly, in fact, before we do our wonderful demonstration of the, of the way that we would walk and the song that they would sing while they were beating up the tweed, I'm going to get you guys, I'm going to show you how to put this in your frame. So you've got your frame here. I've lost your frame. Oh no, your frame's there.
Go.
And you're going to untwist this bit there until it's almost, can you see that thing is moving at the end? Till it's almost fully open, but you don't want it to go all the way because then the little bolt will slip off. So till about there, perfect. Then you're going to move your mat because it's a lot easier to do it on a hard surface. So chuck your mat somewhere. So we can just take this off the mat.
Oh,
Whoa. Chuck your mat over on the floor. Be gone!
be gone.
And you're going to take the inside one, this completely solid one. I am very squinty. There we go. The solid one. And you're going to lay it underneath.
More Skirna Vienna in it. There we go.
So pop that on the table. Let's move this. So pick up your felting and pop the, what's the word? The hoop just straight on the table. And then you're going to lay your felting on top. Okay, where am I? I'm in frame. In frame. This is so squinty for me. And I'm going to feel where it is roughly. And I'm going to do a test lay down and see if I like, let's get me in frame, see if I like the layout, because I can move it up or down, so we could have more sea, or you can have more sky. So you've got all these options. That's why we went over the edges. And at this stage as well, when you press it down, you can see here when I press this down, there's little bits of the underneath felt, the pre-felt, is showing through. So I know that in a couple of days when I come back to finish this, I'm going to go over those bits and just add some extra in. But essentially, look at it!
Yay!
If you put, so you've put that there and then tighten up. The frame really does make it pop, doesn't it? It makes me, oh, let's get in frame. Then you tighten up that until it's nice and tight. And then when you're completely, so this isn't now, we're doing this in a couple of days. Once you're completely happy with it and you've felted it all over for your 20 minutes, tighten that up and then you just chop off the back. And then you'll have, oh, let's actually get it in frame. And my camera is just gone. It's off on its holiday. And then you'll have a finished one. So do you want to pop yours? There we go. Wait, you're all literally around there. Ta-da!
Yay.
We have 2 finished paps of Glencoe.
Fantastic.
You can't see this, but I'm giving her fist bumps.
Yay.
Excellent. I think that's everything. So let me just sort out this camera so that Ailey can show us. I'll move your needles. And do you want to move your beer?
Yes.
Because I can see that going off the edge of the table. And let me get the camera set up. Ish. I might have to hold this because it really wants to fall over today. Ailey's going to do a walking song.
Very good. So the walking is done to a particular beat. It goes like this, and all of the songs are written to that beat. Do you want to walk with me? You're going to walk with me?
No,
No?
I can't. I
Okay,
can't
you
sing
can't
to save
because-
myself,
okay.
and I'm holding the camera.
Oh,
Wait,
you're
I can do
you're
one.
holding the camera.
holding
Okay, you
the-
can do one.
I can do one-handed walking.
So
Okay.
this is a song by a lady from Inverlochy who went over to Canada and she didn't like it. But the minister told her, she wrote back to the minister in the Highlands and he told her, no, you've got to look on the bright side. You've got to like it. So she wrote a song about travelling over from Inverlochy to Canada, and this was the song that she wrote. Yeah.
Right, I'm going to try and keep him beat, but this is going to be hard.
Okay. Gai sin ar céide fóra ar a sigus mé deir sa mór bheannig is canna ceann an róiseach sa is bói a grinne bhóró se den tah a gaihíní se den tah a gaihín scach an tah sa bhí garad gaiinnig go heolach Cnoid ar sfuair is gnána garai for a bhil na fiúr an galda sa sgurwag an brai haris gus drain your lochi o se den taf a gaini se den taf a gain skach an taf sa virgerad gaine go heolach Faki sin an jeer na nuer en faki sin San akefel the shally sin har barn and tinja Stjerker to the sornja O shatan tav a gaini Shatan tav a gain skach and tav se virgerad Gaine geholach Long as living crave is case shall be na strolch and arstream feiken Fjorden is love Jerik is braten is freik na vatten kori O shatan tav a gaine Shatan tav a gain Skach and tav se virgerad Gaine geholach Faki shin An cheer na ruer en riki shin an de ich safe nach Varen bikra leine peiltje na fuaren boich o Shatan tav a gaine Shatan tav a gain Skach and tav se virgerad Gaine geholach
That was beautiful. I have goose pimples. I feel like that could have been like 100 years ago.
Yeah.
That was amazing. Also, my arms are sore.
Yeah,
that was
it's
hard work.
It's hard work. I don't know how they did it. Like, they must have had really strong arms. Yeah,
They would have been absolutely muscles. That was so amazing. Thank you. Oh, that was brilliant. I don't want to go now. So that,
Shouldn't I get that?
what does that mean?
That's that.
No, it's not that. I want to keep going. That was awesome.
So you're coming back next week?
Yeah. We'll come back, we'll do proper walking.
Yeah.
But that was amazing. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
That was
Thanks
wonderful.
For having me.
Thank you for, look, we have much claps and beautifulness.
Yeah.
That was amazing. Right? We've 2 minutes past the hour. I said you'd be here an hour. That's not too bad. And so you're coming back in a couple of days.
Yes.
To finish this
and
off.
I will finish my
And then we'll post it in, we've got a Facebook group. So we like to post finished things in the Facebook group. So we'll post your finished one in a couple of days in the Facebook group.
Okay.
After maybe this, weekend of madness has ended.
After the Easter. Yeah, yeah, definitely.
So let's do would you like to shout out your business and where we can find you?
So yeah, you can find me at Beinivish, which is at BEINNNIBHEIS, and it's also at nivish.com, which is NIBHEIS.com. And yeah, come and check us out. We're on Fort William High Street.
Yes, you are. I regularly stop in on my way to get lunch and escape the show. Awesome. Right. Thank you. Oh, you can look. You can see. They can see under my thing. I know. You're seeing behind the veil now. Okay. Have a lovely night, everybody, and I will see you, if not before, next month. Awesome. Right. See you all.